let's do power rule number 3. And this is what to do in case you get lost. Power rule number 3 is stay where you are. And the way that we say that is freeze. Pretend to put glue on your shoes and yell your buddy's name. Has anybody ever been lost? If you've been lost, raise your hand. It's kind of scary, isn't it? Yeah. And so whenever you get lost, you need to stay in the same place. Is that right? You need to stay in the same place. In fact, watch me. Watch me. And what we're going to say is freeze. Everybody say freeze.
Freeze.
Pretend to put glue on your shoes. And do you know why you pretend to put glue on your shoes? So you stick to the floor and you don't move. Okay? And then you yell your buddy's name. I want you to think about your mom and have your mom be your buddy. So tell me, my mom, shall I tell you what my mom's first name is? Her first name is Dolores. Dolores, that's right. I want you to think of who your buddy's first name is. What is your mom's first name? I want everybody right now to say what your mommy's first name is. Are you ready? Everybody at the same time. Dolores. That's exactly right. Very good. Now I want you to think of something else. I want you to think of what your mommy's last name is. So I want you to say her last name. Everybody tell me together. Tell me what your mommy's last name is, and I'll say mine is too. Pierce. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. Very good. And now, the reason why you need to say your buddy's name, how many moms are there, say, in the store? Would you think that there might be a lot of moms in the store? Right. And so if you yell out, Mom, Mommy, Mommy, how many mommies would come running? Maybe lots, because everybody hears, Mommy. There are lots of mommies. That's why you need to call your mommy's name. Like if I were lost in the store, I would yell out, Dolores Pierce, Dolores Pierce, because that's my mommy's name. And you could yell out what your mommy's name is. Or your father's name, whoever happens to be with you. That's exactly right. So let's practice that. Okay, everybody stand up for a second. Now we're going to pretend that you got separated from your buddy, okay? And you can't find your buddy. So now what we're going to do is freeze. Everybody freeze. Freeze. Pretend to put glue on your shoes and yell your buddy's name. So you're going to yell your mom's first name and last name. Are you ready? Dolores Pierce. Dolores Pierce. Dolores Pierce. Exactly. Okay, everybody sit down. Sit down. Are you ready for a story?
Yes.
This is a story written by Scott Reed. He wrote a story about William. Now, here's William. Is he really a boy? No, he's just a silly scarf. But we're going to pretend like he's a boy because it's about William. William loved to go and do things all by himself all the time. In fact, he and his parents and his grandma and his babysitter all went to the park one day to have a picnic. And while he was at the park, William decided that he wanted to go out on a hike by himself. And he wandered off. That was a big mistake because William forgot his safety rules. He forgot to check first with his parents before he left. William forgot to stay with his buddy. And William forgot what to do if he got lost. He came to a fork in the trail. A fork in the trail? What is a fork in the trail? What is it?
Two tracks connected together.
Exactly. It's kind of like an intersection. So he came to the fork in the trail, and he decided to go this direction. And he was skipping and running and singing. Fa la la la, la 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 la. He came to another fork in the trail, and he decided to go this way. And so it continued. He kept running and skipping and singing and coming to different forks in the trail, and he had to make decisions about which way to go. He was having a grand time when he got hungry. His stomach started to grumble. Grrr. And he remembered that back at the picnic table, there was lots of food. So William decided to go back. He ran back down the trail, and he came to a fork in the trail. He didn't know which way to go. He said, oh, maybe I went this way. So he ran back this way, and he came to another fork in the trail, and he couldn't remember where he was going again, and he ran this way until he realized, he was alone, and he was lost. He couldn't remember what to do if he got lost. In fact, things were getting a little worse because it was getting dark, and he didn't want to be out in the woods in the dark by himself. He wasn't sure what he could do. What he did was find a big rock, and he ran over to the rock, and he hid way deep down inside the rock. Well, back at the picnic ground, his parents were worried because they could not find William. In fact, William had disappeared. This was an emergency. What number do you call in an emergency? 911. So they had a bunch of community helpers come out. The search and rescue team came out, and they searched and they searched, and they called out, William, William. But they needed more help. The firefighters came out, and they searched, and they searched, and they called out, William, William. But they couldn't find him. The sheriff's office was also there. In fact, they had a very special police dog that came out. Her name was Georgia, and her specialty was finding missing people, especially missing children. Georgia got out of the patrol car along with her handler, Deputy Al, and they went over to William's parents, and they said, do you have something that William was wearing? That way, Georgia could get the scent or the smell of what William smelled like, because she could follow his track with her nose. She had a powerful nose. So, you know what they found in the back seat of the car? A stinky shoe. Oh, a stinky shoe. But it was the best thing for Georgia, because she sniffed and she sniffed, and then she took off running through the woods, and she found the rock. And do you think she found William?
Yeah. William!
She found William.
That was magic.
It was magic. Do you think that William was a safety kid? No. He forgot his safety rules, didn't he? Power rule number 3 is stay where you are. And the way that we say that is freeze. Pretend to put glue on your shoes and yell your buddy's name.